Jurassic Park.
Hello, and welcome to a nighttime edition of Jurassic World, the game. It's late, but I have time, so I'm doing the video right now. I've been doing the tournaments all week. Hopefully you guys have as well. As far as we've got the Mosasaurus Gen 2. We've also got the Shake the Earth for the Notosaurus. Both creatures, like was on the Monday video, was for the new hybrid, the Armormata, a great herbivore hybrid that we will talk about here in a little bit. But as I've been playing the game, I found this crazy little, I don't know if that's called a secret, but you'll see later in the video. There's a certain sequence of things you got to do in order to uncover it, but it's pretty cool. But we'll talk about that later. First, I wanted to see it. Okay, sweet. So trades have updated. We're gonna go ahead and go do some refreshes here. See what we can get ourselves here. All right. So let's see. We've got, that's nothing new happened. Let's do a little refresh. No. Ooh, there's some bucks. I like to see that. 384. Take 220. I want to check and see how many. Okay, we got 2. So I've started only keeping a few in my harbor at a time, and I've been trying to keep them as ones that I haven't collected the XP on. I don't know if it truly makes a difference, but I feel like it has lately, but we will see if we get to, oh, that's not what I meant to push. I meant to hit the trade button, not the refresh button. Oh, clock towers. Don't technically need any clock towers. I've just started storing them on the other side of the island. But I might go ahead and actually... No, I'm not gonna do that. I need the DNA. So we're gonna let that clock tower trade go by the wayside. Pains me because typically I would pick up every clock tower, but we technically do not need them, so we're not going to take it. All right, so 1, 2. Hey, there we go. Not quite over 70,000. So close though. No. Okay, how many of those do we have right now? Do we have 2? We do have 2. Perfect. Actually, I want to have at least 1 extra in case it decides to dump in a bucks trade right after I take the last trade. I've seen it happen before where you do a trade and it adds a new one, but since you technically just ran out of that resource, it says that it's expired and you can't pick it up. So always good to keep at least 1 in there. All right, let's go do some custom trades. All right, we don't need that, but we will take it as fodder for the trade harbor. Let's go pick up some coins. 21 there. Pick up the rest. Nope, I clicked on that recently. Oh, that's right, I've been trying to find things to fuse. We had a fuse event going on. Hopefully everybody has been participating and doing their part to make that happen. Let's see. I've been clicking on stuff all over, trying to find things to fuse that I want to fuse. Kind of in a interesting predicament in that I don't want to fuse up my legendaries because at the level they are right now, they give really good Code 19 rewards. If we go too much lower, then we have issues in terms of where our coins will end up, not our coins, but our Code 19 rewards go. So don't want to fuse up too many, but I think we've got all of them going right now. Oh, we don't. Let's go find, let's see. Super rare here. Volumes that up. Set that up. Doing our part to help with the fuse goal, which is what do we got here? We've got a ways to go. We got a long ways to go, actually. So hopefully the community can get in there and start fusing stuff. But all other events are done. So all right. So tournament. Well, a couple things. Updates on a couple things. We got 2 days until we get our first extra items. What's interesting is I have not been using those because I haven't needed to, especially now we have the fuse thing. I've been trying not to fuse stuff, surprisingly, because I've been trying to sell everything for DNA after the paddock is full. But it'll be nice to have them. I'm really excited about actually for this month to see what that VIP pass is going to be all about, and to get our final 4th slot, which we thought we were getting in month 6, I think. Yeah. Which apparently was just a glitch that we had that extra slot all the way since the release of it in month 4, which, hey, whatever. In month 9, it will be trued up and be correct and taken care of. And then obviously month 10, we've got our first decoration. I'm very curious about the Ammonite Oasis. But yeah, so that's VIP stuff. Let's go check on the tournaments. So this very interesting thing, and in case you're wondering why I'm so much higher in the Malsa tournament, the rewards on the wheel are better. The percentages are all the same, but if you land on cash in the Malsa tournament, you get a much higher amount of Dino Bucks than if you land on cash in the Notosaurus tournament. So that's why this one is quite a bit lower, because I've been focusing on the other one. But let's see if I can get this set up to be able to show you this trick that I found. It's coming off cooldown. That's good. So I've only been able to get it to show up with the Carnoraptor. Oh, I've only got one left. Oh, I've got 2. Okay, we got 2 chances. Okay. So we're gonna go through this event here. Go through this. Hopefully get a good matchup. But we need to finish with the Carnoraptor. That's the one that we need to win with. Ooh. That is some rough carnivores that we're facing, but that's okay. This should be doable and shouldn't be too bad. Let's see if we can make this work. There's the kill. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. It's probably gonna swap, is my guess. The question is he gonna swap an attack? Hoping for a swap. Okay, there's a swap. Is he going to attack? Yes, he does. Okay, so he's got nothing left. We also have very low health. So we are going to swap over here. Now he's gonna have 3. So if we do 1, it's gonna force him to want to kill us, because we're only gonna have 1 attack or 1 block potential, and then he's gonna want to do 2 to kill us. So he should take us out with 3. Okay, there we go. All right, it's only gonna take 2 to kill him now that we've done that 1 shot, which is good, because 1, 2, block 3 just because it makes me nervous. I don't think he would be able to kill us, but I I don't want to chance it. No, he probably could have. Yeah, he could have killed us, so it's good that we blocked 3. But we need him to go for... I only went for 1. Well, hopefully he is going for 1 block and not 3 blocks. He could go for 2 blocks too, and that'd be okay. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, you dirty rat. All right, well, that gives us 1 more chance. This is gonna be a bummer if we can't do this. Okay, well, let's try that again. Of course, I haven't lost one in I don't know how long. Of course, we get that great matchup right when I start doing the video, of course. And that was a very odd, it was an odd sequence. Typically, they won't go 1 attack, 3 block. Typically, they would just reserve 2 and block 2. Typically. Oh gosh, of course we're gonna have. Okay, well, we're gonna have to coax out and then kill that Osteoposaurus. Good news is the Tanaglagus is not gonna have much of attack. We definitely want to get rid of that Metrocanthosaurus so that he can't do much damage. Alright, how much attack? He's gonna have 18. A lot. We're gonna have to take the hit. We're gonna have to take the hit. There's the swamp. Is he gonna attack us? He is. Okay, that's good. Should be 2 shots here. And then we have to hope that the Tanaglagus has enough to actually kill us, which is going to take a while. Actually, no, we can just swap over and kill him with the Carnoraptor. Perfect, he attacked, excellent. Okay, so we should be able to do this now. All right. You have to pay attention because there's gonna be a light that is shown in the background. And I'm gonna have to click on it. Nothing's gonna happen on the screen, but I need to click on that light to get the sequence started. There it is, boom, the light. Okay, I think I got it. I think I clicked on it. I've only seen it on the raptor finish. I haven't seen it on amphibian finishes, herbivore finishes, or pterosaur finishes. So I don't know if it's just carnivores, but I have seen it with that. All right, so we gotta wait for this to go through. There we go. And now we need to start a sequence. And so we're gonna go up 1, we're gonna go up 2, we're going to go down 1, we're going to go down 2, and then we're going to tap on the left, we're going to tap on the right, we're going to tap on the left, we're going to tap on the right, and then we're going to hit the news feed, we're going to hit the market, and then we're going to hit OK. All right, wheel's going to spin. That's what it's supposed to do. And we'll see if we get it to do what we want it to do after we collect our reward. All right, let's see if this works. Excellent, it worked. Now, if this is going to be amazing. So, this is some sort of back data that I've been able to find in the system that exists back in the coding. And if you're gullible enough to believe the up, up, down, down, left, right, a button, and then start, welcome to the channel. Hopefully that now that you've been here and you've looked around on the channel, you might notice that I'm kind of a data nerd. And so this is really just my spreadsheets that exist. This is not the game. And from some magic video editing, I pulled you into my desktop computer. But basically, what I really wanted to do in this episode was talk about kind of changes that have happened to the game since my original goal, and how my lineup has changed over the last year. So this is really going to be a tutorial. This is going to be a tutorial, the second tutorial in the series. The first one was done in October of last year, and this is the next step of Ferocity. So Ferocity, if you haven't watched that first video, I highly recommend you go watch that first video. It's going to give you the base knowledge you need to understand all the stuff that I'm going to be going over in this video. This is really about the mechanics of the game and how you can kind of hack your lineup to make sure that you have the best chances possible of succeeding in the game. And I'm going to kind of go through a bunch of different scenarios and a bunch of different things. So, but what you're looking at right here on the screen, this is all of the Jurassic creatures with ferocity over 10,000. And so obviously ferocity is your health of your creature plus the attack of the creature, with the attack multiplied by a factor. I've calculated that factor to be 3.2, yada, 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 yada. It's a long number, but you could do a shortcut for 3.2 if you want to, and it gets pretty close for everything. And what I've done is I've graphed all of the creatures that have a ferocity that are over 10,000 when they hit a level threshold. So 10, 20, 30, and 40. And so what we're looking at here is we've got obviously red are carnivores, yellow are the pterosaurs, blue are amphibians, and green are the good old herbivores. So starting off, and I think there's 48 different creatures that have a ferocity over 10,000, based on, and really it's level 30 and up for most of the legendary hybrids, and then 20 and up for most of the tournament hybrids. So you see that we've got a few of the super rares in here as well. But you'll notice there's a very steep climb on this curve all the way up towards the strongest creature in the game, which is the Indoraptor Gen 2 at level 40. And then we've got Indoraptor, the original Indoraptor OG at level 40 here. And then we've got Pachygallosaurus at level 40. And then we've got the brand new released Armormata at level 40, and then we've got Udon, Indoraptor Gen 2 level 30, Indoraptor level 30, and then we've got Metrophodon at level 40, and we got Ceratosaurus level 40, and then we got Cycnosuchus at level 40, and then we got the other, what I would call key creature, which is the Gorgosuchus level 40 way down over here. So if you notice, this ferocity of 16,790 for the Gorgosuchus is very much lacking in terms of dealing with and competing with the creatures that exist up in this space over here. But this is the way the game is set up, and if we know the way the game is set up, then we can plan for that and try to do what we can to make sure that our game is successful associated with this. Now, I didn't always have this understanding. And so let me go here. Right, so when I did my initial ferocity video back on October 26th of 2019, this was my top 42 creatures in my Jurassic series. I had this Indoraptor level 20 way out here in front. And then I had 2 Cycnosuchuses, a bunch of Indoraptors, a couple 11s and a bunch of 10s, a few Metrophodons, a couple more Cycnosuchuses, 1 Gorgosuchus level 30, the Pachygallosaurus, the Udon, a couple more Metrophodons, some Monostegatops, super hybrids here, a Pterodactylus, and we've got a bunch of 40 VIPs, well, a few at the time. And then we've got a few other super hybrids, one legendary hybrid here, and then another legendary hybrid here, as well as some more level 20 Gorgosuchus. But had a very steep climb from my second to my first. And since the game, at least my theory, because it's not a fact, we can't prove it 100%, but my theory is that the game keys off of the top 3 creatures in any one of your classes. Again, if you've watched the first video, you would have already picked up on that. But this poses a problem right here, in the sense that my top 3 are very much different than the rest of my, because the average is kind of like up in here somewhere between the 3 of these. It's quite high compared to the rest of my and I have a fairly steep drop off over here for the rest of my creatures. So if we look at what the average of my top 3 versus the average of my top 42 over here, we see this big gap here, right? So my top 42 creatures has a ferocity of 11,327. My top 3 have an average ferocity of 15,233, right? This is a significant gap in between here. That's almost a 30% gap. It might actually be 30%. Might be just shy of that. But it's significant. It's a significant gap here. Now, if we go too far over, if we go down to when I started, this is right after I sold my level 20 Indoraptor on the episode where I created a level 40 Indoraptor to clear off some badge information and get that squared away. And then that flattened off because I didn't bring anything else up above these 3 that were here. That significantly helped my lineup as far as terms of playability, right? So that brought that to right here. Let me scooch over so you don't see this other stuff just quite yet. Oh, that's not going to be far enough. Can't do that. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's going to be good enough. So this is after I sold the Indoraptor, right? So I'd already bringed up my ferocity a little bit over my top 42, but selling my Indoraptor brought it down significantly down here. So now the gap is much closer. And then over, I had set some goals in episode 100, and it's going to be down here, just past those when I set the goals, where I was aiming to get a lineup that could deal with Indoraptors and Indoraptors at high levels, right? So my goal was to create as many Metrophodons and Segnosuchuses and Gorgosuchuses, because at the time, those were the only 3 that were available to take on this journey or this chore. Zamolodon did exist, but it's really like a Gorgosuchus in terms that it's very much what I would say lacking in terms of where it exists. There it is. Where it exists from a ferocity standpoint when compared to the Metrophodon, right? So the Metrophodon is just so much stronger, has so much more versatility in it. But having a Zamolodon around is not a bad idea, or even a Pterocoaltes, because they've got a lot more health than a Metrophodon. So they can take a hit or two from a Segnosuchus that has crazy attack. And even more so now that we've got this Arm Armada here, I need to bring in 1 or 2 of these guys in order to deal with those potential high health herbivores and high attack herbivores. But back over to this guy here. So this is a much more flat curve between all of my top 42. So again, if we look at this graph here and we look at this is very close, right? So we've got a very tight spacing here where our top 3 now it is starting to increase, but we're also increasing our total team, not just the top 3, right? We're making progress here. And so then we come down here to where we were. I think I have the next one so on Sunday. So this was Sunday after I finished leveling all of my Gorgosuchuses that I had all the way up to level 40. Still have my 231 Segnosuchuses. I wrote up all my Indoraptors to level 17, which is just below the Gorgosuchus. All the Metrophodons are at level 30 because as soon as I fuse them, they're going to jump up to up here somewhere, and I'm just not ready to do that yet. I'm going to start fusing Segnosuchuses to get up here to the level 31. Indoraptors here will stay probably this way for a while until I either run out of space or I just feel like I want to start bringing some more. But these are still very versatile at level 10 for me. But, you know, and then we've got Zomolodon, a Gorgosuchus here, and a Pachygallosaurus. So again, we are increasing the total ferocity of... So we've got October, and then we've got the November 15th one here. So we're, again, increasing total ferocity because we're obviously leveling up our top 3 as we make those transitions. But we're bringing along with us our total 42. We're not just... So we've already surpassed where we were when we had the Indoraptor at level 20 as far as our top 3. But we have a much stronger team here overall, all the way through our level 42. We've even got more behind that, but there's no real, you don't have to go that deep. I got a lot more 40 VIPs now than I had back here at this time frame. But this is essentially a year's worth of work, right? So this game is the long game. And I try to tell that all the time in forum posts, as well as in my videos, right? This is not I'm going to play this game for a month or two and I'm going to finish it, I'm going to beat it. It's I'm going to play this game for years and I'm going to try to form my team to make sure that I have the best chance at doing all the events every day and not having to pay for cooldowns on my creatures, right? Because as you increase the level of tournament creatures, especially tournament hybrids, they get more health. Cooldowns are based off of the health of a creature, which is why I like Pachygallosaurus level 20 has a way longer cooldown than a Indoraptor at level 17. It's just the way that it works. And again, it's the math. If you know how the math works, you can play to its advantages and set your team up to be successful. And so that's what I've been doing, right? So I've been increasing the total amount of my ferocity, right? If we look at... So this is my ferocity over time of my top 42, right? So this is the graph of that ferocity for my top 42 when I was doing the original ferocity video, so over a year ago. And then this was in, I think this was, so in March, so like 5 months later, I had increased a decent amount of some of the folks that were supporting characters, I would say. But I still had this large, massive jump here with my Indoraptor level 20. But after I sold that Indoraptor, I noticed a significant drop in my PvE events, which again leads me to believe that that top 3 is really where the game keys off of. Because once I sold that, and a lot of other folks that I've advised on the forums to sell a creature that's way out in front have also noticed, I don't want to say extreme changes, but very noticeable changes when they have leveled off their top 3 compared to the rest of their lineup. It can be painful. I did it. I could have survived, right? I could have survived with that level 20. I was still completing all the events. Some of them were tough and it was difficult, but I could have easily done it. Do I regret it? No, because I really like the fact that I was able to complete those badges. I will get back to a level 40 Indoraptor eventually. It's going to take some time, but eventually that's where I'm going to go. But you can see that, after... Again, this leveling out continues to expand down my lineup, right? It continues to get farther and farther into the rankings of my lineup, whilst I am continuing to grow all of my lineup to be up to that level, right? And this takes time. It takes time. It's not an immediate thing. When I set the goals back in June, this is when I set the goals to go after tournament hybrids at level 40. And that's still my goal, and we'll talk some more about that here in a little bit. But I really have focused on this. I've stopped kind of, except for the last 3 weeks, I've been trying to bank DNA to get information for not information, resources for, but I'm hoping will be a discount week coming up for Thanksgiving or sometime during the holidays. And I want to take advantage of that. So I've stopped creating tournament hybrids, but that's going to change now, especially like this week. I bought a bunch of Mosasaurus Gen 2s, got them in hatchery pods, and once I get the one from the tournament, I will fuse them up, create a level 40, and then I'm going to make an Armormata because I am going to switch from creating Cygnasuchuses to creating the Armormatas because I need that stronger herbivore. It's going to be a more balanced herbivore that's going to be helpful in my lineup overall long term. I don't need any more Cygnasuchuses. I don't think I need any more Cygnasuchuses at this point. We can determine that kind of at a later date, but you can see that as I've continued to level up, I'm bringing everything with me, right? Everything's going up as I add additional creatures. And so really the goal is to make sure that I don't do anything, crazy. And by crazy, I mean goals, right? So these were the goals from episode 100. I've got these goals where I wanted to have 9 Gorgosuchuses at level 40. I wanted 6 Cygnasuchuses at level 40, 6 Metrophodons, and I wanted 8 of each Indoraptor at level 20 because at level 20, they are just shy of the Cygnasuchus, but they're stronger than the Gorgosuchus, and they're just shy of the Metrophodon. So it's one of those, and I almost completed that goal. Technically, I still need another 725,000 DNA, another 20,000 sDNA, but I'm not going after those goals. I feel like I've completed them from the aspect of where I think I need to be, and so I've created some new goals. Those new goals are going to be where I want to go with my lineup as I progress, right? So this is where we are right now, and this is where I want to be eventually, right? So you can see there's a massive difference in the height of where my creatures are going, right? So all these Gorgosuchuses that are level 40 are going to end up way down here in my lineup once I start achieving some of this stuff, right? So what do I want? I want an Indoraptor Gen 2 at level 40. I want an Indoraptor at level 40. I know that's going to cause problems. But if I have the depth of lineup behind it, I feel like I can survive it. I'm not going to bring up all of my Indoraptors to level 40 because then that would create this level for my top 3 that would be very high. Right now, it's probably going to be an average somewhere in here, which is still going to be higher than all of this, but it's the nature of the game and kind of what you have to deal with as you go towards in-game creatures associated with this game. It's the way it's built right now. But what gives me hope is that they've added stuff like this Armormata at level 40. This herbivore that is much stronger than Cygnasuchus at level 40. And so it gives me hope that there's going to be an amphibian that's going to be able to come up in this space somewhere over here. And it's going to be something that can deal with Indoraptors at this level. Again, this is going to be a long time coming. This is not by next month. This is what's going to happen. This is going to be, I think I calculated just over a year of potentially to achieve this next lineup bump. But, we've got a Eudon at level 40, Pachygallosaurus at level 40. We've got, obviously, Metrophodons. We've got Cerazernosaurus at level 40. We've got Cygnasuchus at level 40. We've got a couple of Zomolodons we got to work on. Aerolophosaurus level 40. But again, all of the tournament hybrids at level 40. I want all of them at level 40. I want them there. That's where I want them. All these Gorgosuchuses we basically already have. I think there's one more that we need to get. But we'll look at that in a second. Again, the Terraqualtez at level 40, and then Armamata at level 30, and then another Gorgosuchus here at level 30, right? So, but this here is going to look like this. And I believe it's going to take me until January of next year, not of next year, so not January coming up, but the January after that, in order to achieve this. And again, there's going to be this massive difference here between the two, and I might be setting myself up for failure, but I won't bring those two Indoraptors to level 40 until I've probably accomplished everything else. I might bring one maybe, but even one at this high rank is enough to really skew, right? So if we look at the average of the ferocity of those top three is quite large. But if we were to bring it down here, it reduces it by a decent amount, right? What was that? That's only 1,000. It's actually not a ton. We probably need to bring it down to really to like the Armamatas. Right. Yeah. So that would bring it down to 23,000. Again, it's not a huge difference. Because we have this natural drop-off that just occurs because there's no creature that exists, right? If we're looking at what exists in terms of stuff, there is this natural decline that happens. So if you don't have lots of these creatures, you end up with this natural slope that you have to contend with. Where you've got these creatures that are way out, almost, not quite almost double, but pretty close. I mean, they're double of, Alanogamymus and Glythronax at level 15,000 ferocity, where, right, am I looking at that right? There we go. So there's a slope, and you got to deal with it. But the reason why I say it's going to take me over a year is in order to get to what I just showed you on that graph, these goals of these creatures and these quantities, this is, kind of actuals where I am now. This is how many more of those creatures I need to hatch. DNA, if purchased on the standard discount on Thursdays for VIPs, which is 20%, means I need to collect this much DNA and this much sDNA. So I need to pick up almost 5 million DNA and then 44,000 Raptor sDNA in order to achieve that goal of those creatures. This assumes nothing changes between now and then, which could obviously change. This is over a year, and the reason why I say it's going to take me a year is from when I did the original look at my goals from episode 100, which was on June 29th, to Sunday when I updated this. I had needed 3.3 million. I had picked up 2.5 million DNA worth of creatures, and I'd picked up 16,000 worth of sDNA, of Raptor sDNA, over that time period. So I made progress, right? I did a lot of progress over the last 139 days, which is how long it had been between the goals and Sunday. If I take that same 139 days and apply these same rates, which technically the SDNA should be going up because of the SDNA building, which wasn't around for that whole time, and it is increasing with how much I'm getting. But for this much regular DNA and this much Raptor DNA, I'm looking at 321 days here and 382 days here for the approximate amount of time. And I added a factor here of 20% additional time for this one because I know this is a long-term goal. This isn't a goal, like I said, that's going to be done in a couple months. This is a goal that's going to take a year. But I don't want to miss out on all of those creatures that I haven't been leveling up. And so along with this, I'm going to be, creating level 40s of all of my legendaries because I've got some that are just kind of hanging out and sitting around. I'm going to be creating level 40s of all of my tournament creatures that I haven't maxed out yet. Also in preparation of maybe new hybrids that'll be coming, and I'll be ready to go for them. So some of these might change a little bit, but as of right now, this is what I'm kind of aiming at. So new goals for my my park. It's going to be a while before I achieve them, but I'm excited if you guys are going to be along for the journey. I'm going to try to document it. I'm going to try to start pulling in some more of my spreadsheet stuff. I'm kind of an Excel nerd in terms of what I do with Excel. I don't know if the graphics help you guys, but I hope that they do kind of shed some light on kind of what I'm saying versus just clicking on the game screen. But also while you're here, we'll do a little tournament update here. So this is as of late on Friday night, but this is how the tournament has been trending over time. Right, so let me actually zoom in here so we can get a little bit better of a look. We do not need this here. Zoom out just a tiny bit. We've got both the Mosasaurus tournament here, which has been trending lower than the Nodosaurus tournament. And they have been going fairly steady, kind of up and downs here and there, but overall, this is kind of where they are trending towards. I believe they're going to end somewhere around 1750, but if this new curve here continues, then maybe they peter out for the last 3 days. Again, we're in kind of uncharted territory for 7-day tournaments. It's been a really long time since we've had one, since before I was even collecting data on tournaments. So I can't say for certain what's going to happen over the next 3 days. Typically, on older tournaments, they would increase, like this one here. This was this was actually the last Mosasaurus Gen 2 tournament, where it was a 6-day tournament, and it stopped after hitting 1,500 trophies, and it just flattened out for the rest of the day. The whole rest of the time, it just didn't increase. So we don't know if that's going to happen. Right? It could go to this time frame here, hit 1,500, and then stop. Or it could continue. It could spike up. Who knows? But as of right now, the tournament is trending towards that kind of 1750-ish range for both of them. Again, the Nodosaurus tournament is slightly higher, but we just kind of have to wait and see. But I will be updating in Monday's video in the notes for that episode. I've been updating every day at night, kind of where my prediction is aiming at for those two tournaments. So, but yeah, and with that, we're gonna go back into the game to finish off some information. And let's check to see if we've got anything new in the trade harbor. Looks like we might have something. Just a food trade, but we'll take it. But yeah, so like I was saying, the tournaments are trending. I've also got these Mosasaurus Gen 2s in here that need to hatch out. Hopefully I can wake up early enough tomorrow, but it's going to be early compared to the time that it is right now to pick those up. But was that the last? That was the last of my, I'm gonna go put in a couple so I don't forget about that tomorrow morning. Drop in a couple of these guys. Also, I've not had the crashing bug from picking up decorations and only pick up 3 or 4 at a time, which is nice. It's another benefit of not stacking all of them into your trade harbor or into your market. But like I said, I'll be updating how things are going to be looking for these guys. But good luck for the rest of the weekend. Like I said, the Mosasaurus tournament does have a better wheel. So if you've already secured and you got enough creatures to do both, I say spend your time on the Mosasaurus Gen 2 tournament because you will have better chances of getting better Dinobuck prizes than in the Notosaurus tournament. On the Fuse lab here, obviously you want to be fusing stuff that you can. Before the Fuse lab closes, you want to dump in some really long hatching or really long fuses if you have them in that 4th fuse pod or in the 3rd fuse pod as well. If history repeats, they will stay in those pods until they complete, which means that if the fuse pod, extras stop, you will still have those cooking out there and you'll still have the other 2 available for you. So it's a way to kind of utilize more pods than having, long fuses stuck in your 2nd or 1st pod. They won't collapse down onto the 1st and 2nd pod, basically is what I'm saying. So keep those. And again, I don't know because it doesn't say when it's going to end. We just know that the actual fuse event that the community is working on ends on Monday morning. But it's possible they could keep these going through that time frame for the holiday. But because we don't know, I will definitely be putting on Sunday night probably Segnosuchuses to fuse up in that final spot, because I've got 2 more that I can fuse up to 31, and so I will probably do that. Or if I have some Armamatas that are ready to, well, they won't be ready to go by then. Well, will they? They might be ready to go by then. I can't remember if I have 1 extra Mosasaurus Gen 2. I don't know. I'll have to check. We'll have to see. I don't think I do. I might have to buy another one. But if I can get 1 or 2 fusing Armamatas, that would be fantastic. But anyways, folks, you guys have a wonderful weekend. I appreciate everybody that's come along with me on this journey. I just breached 200 subscribers, which I'm really excited about. So basically, I can't do that without you that watch the channel. I appreciate it. If you know somebody that plays the game and you think that they would find value in these, please let them know about it. The more people we get on the channel, the more we can enlighten folks around the way the game works, and hopefully maybe ease some of the frustration that comes with folks that I know that I see that come to the forums that are basically complaining about how difficult their matches are, why the game is so hard, like why is everything so crazy, and there's reasons behind it. We can help lay out those reasons and really help people understand how they can kind of set their game up to be more enjoyable to play versus a frustrating experience, because I believe this game is going to be around for a long time. At least I hope it is. Otherwise, I'm not going to complete my goals. But I want people to understand how the game is played so that they can enjoy it as much as they can. But with that, you guys stay safe. Like I said earlier, enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.
If you made it this far, I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. Subscribing to my channel and clicking the notification bell will ensure that you'll be notified as I release videos on the channel. If you found this video helpful, let me know by hitting the like button. If there is something specific you would like a video on in the game, please leave a message in the comment section below on what you would like to see. Again, thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one.